In this video, we will continue the discussions on the comparisons between the bisection versus regular falsi. In most cases, regular falsi would perform much better compared to bisections. When I say much better, meaning that it will be faster to iterate using the regular falsi compared to bisections. But in this particular example, when we have these functions of fx equal to x raised to 10 minus 1, bisections already reached the final value with 5 iterations, whereas the regular falsi, even after 5 iterations, we still far away from the final answer. This is because the curve does not follow the assumptions where the false position was based, that the fx lower, the functions of the lower guess, the function value of the lower guess is much closer to 0 than the function value of the upper guess. Okay, and this is because of the shape of the present function. So if you look at the figure in here, it becomes clear that the iterations is very slow in here. Okay, so you need much more iterations to reach this value where the function becomes 0. Okay, the third method is the direct substitution. A direct substitution strategy can be used for the equations of the form x equal gx. So you basically have to formulate your functions into this mathematical form. Okay, so graphically the solution exists when the curve gx crosses the diagonal as shown below. Okay, there are two possible cases where it's converged. So if you start from here, then you equalize x equal to gx, then you move to here, then go to here, then go to here, then go to here, then you will get solutions. But if say for a particular case you start from here, you go here, you go here, you go here, then you go there, then this will not converge at all. So what are the requirements for the convergence? It will converge if the derivative of g with respect to x is less than 1. It will diverge if the derivative of g with respect to x is higher than 1. Okay. In this particular case, it is shown in here that, for example, if we basically reformulate the heat capacity functions into these particular functions in here, then we will not be able to get the value because it does not converge. Okay, this is because the value of the derivative at the initial gas value is 600 and 400 is higher than 1. Okay, on the other hand, we can also reformulate this heat capacity problem into this, and then the slope will have less than 1 value. So in this case, we will converge. I showed this in more detail in my additional materials notes. So as you can see in here, direct substitutions in here, you have it's possible for you to use the t from this 4.257. Okay, and then you make it such that the t will be equal to this. But then again, when you calculate the derivative of this g, the g on the right hand side in here with respect to t, you will notice that when you take this at the initial gas value, this will be 120 and 220. So you know that it's higher than 1. As a result, it will not converge. On the next one, on the other hand, if you use the t from this root square, from the denominator of this 15.04 divided by the root square of t, then for some reasons you basically just basically take the square of the right hand side, then this you figure out the derivative of this g with respect to t, then you find that at 600 and at 400 this will be less than 1. So as a result, you know that basically the derivative, because the derivative will be less than 1, then it will converge. Okay, so then we move on into the next one, Newton method. Newton method is one of the most widely used method among these 4 methods. And in this one, we want to solve a function where x functions of we want to find a value of x where the functions is equal to 0. So what you take is a first order Taylor series expansion about the initial guess of A. So this one is the initial guess of A in here. Okay. If we take this one, then we can find the next we can find the next value of the B, which is A minus FA divided by the derivative of A. Okay, because in here, as you can see, the slope in here, the slope at this particular point, FA is equal to this FA divided by A minus B. So this B value can be found if we have this slope at the value of A, and then also with this increment of B minus A. Okay. This will be an iterative method that requires one initial guess. Okay, and the advantage is that it has a rapid convergence. Although this disadvantages, it require computation of the derivative and can be very sensitive to initial guess. So in here we show the example of solving the same problem again in here. Okay, with 2 different initial guesses. The first one is 600, the second one is 400. Both they converge about 3 to 4 iterations. Okay, we also can solve this one using a MATLAB code. In a MATLAB code, we use a finite difference approximation. So instead of using the analytical derivative calculations, we use a finite difference approximation. This function of M file called Tangen will need 4 inputs: a function x naught, which is the initial guess, and then you need a tolerance, and then you need the maximum amount of the iterations. The tolerance in here meaning the difference between the one value with the next value. If the next one with one between one and the next value is small enough, then the loop will be stopped. Then if the number of argument input is less than 4, then we will set up the tolerance as according to this, and then the maximum number of iterations to 1000. If the number of argument input is 4, then the maximum will be set to 1000. Okay, and then this is creating a matrix consisting of 1 until 1000, for example, in here. So for 1 until the maximum iterations, then this will create the basically a value where you a dummy value where it's 0.001 plus the initial value, and then this will calculate this file in here will evaluate the functions. Okay, and then this will carry on an iterations as well. Okay, and then where there's a break in here. I'll not go through the detail in here, but if you want to discuss the details of these things, then you can contact me at another time. Okay, this formula in here is basically the Newton method formula that was shown in the previous slide in here. Where we basically calculate using these things in here. A minus the function's value of the A divided by the derivative of A. So that will be this one. Okay, and this plot in here shows the iteration versus the value of your x that creates a function value of 0. As you can see in here, you just roughly need about 2 iteration number in here to get the final value. And there are several cases that you need to bear in mind, where the Newton-Raphson will have a slow convergence. Okay, in this particular case is because the first guess near the region where the slope is near 0. That's why the next iteration will flinch into the solution that is far away from the initial guess to a new value that has an extremely high value. Okay, another cases are shown in here, where this one in the first one is a inflection point occurs in the vicinity of the root, and then the next one in here, the next one is basically showing the tendency of the Newton-Raphson to oscillate around a local maximum or minimum. In here, it's basically a local minimum in here, and this one is a local maximum. In figure 6.6c, is showing how an initial gate that is close to one loop can jump to another location several loops away. Okay, this will go here, start from here, go here, and then go here. Okay, and then the last one, if you have a zero slope in here, then this will be a disaster, which is almost the same with this case in here. Okay, so this will go into a position that is far away. Those this cases is basically highlighting the importance of choosing a good initial guess for this Newton-Raphson. Okay, before we move into the next part of the slide, where we will discuss more than one unknown. So if we have let's say more than one independent variables, then what techniques are we should use? Okay, that the technique will be the extensions of the Newton-Raphson method. For this part of the lecture, I will stop it in here. Thank you for listening.